Greetings and felicitations, as Omal would say. We are Russ Hatfield and Kara. I am a third-dimensional archivist, and she is my higher-dimensional twin soul and a member of Ashtar Command. April's editorial examines the sovereignty of the planet Earth that we call sovereign citizens of the planet Earth. This month, we look at just how sovereign the human race is and why it is dependent on higher dimensional races protecting that sovereignty. It's a busy galaxy with lots of races of different dimensions, and with humanity being just one. That is allowed to be that way by organizations like Ashtar Command, who patrol the galaxy to ensure the development of the consciousness of humanity is not interfered with by other third-dimensional races. In this editorial, we explain why that is the case. For a full transcript of this latest editorial, please go to our main homepage at HadesBasedNews.com. We invite you to subscribe to be kept informed of future postings on our YouTube channel from the members of Ashtar Command, and now represent sovereign citizens of the planet Earth. The topic of sovereignty has been showing up more and more in the posts we see, so we decided to look at it from a different point of view. The question goes back to who actually is a sovereign citizen of what? The truth is that the human race has been granted its sovereignty by races far older and far wiser. Because of the limited view humanity has of its galactic neighbors, the knowledge that they are protected from races that would take over the planet, given a chance, is largely dismissed as science fiction. That is fine, as the evolution of the human race has to proceed unassisted technologically, but not spiritually. Channeled information from those protecting the planet is perfectly acceptable. That at least gives humans the choice to keep incarnating on the third dimension or pursue a different path that includes ascension to a higher dimension. So how was the sovereignty of the Earth established? It happened a long time ago in a place called Atlantis. Now, humans might be the indigenous species of the planet, but then came the colonization from the planet Sirius while it was still in the third dimension to what seemed like a perfect continent. Sirius itself would be uninhabitable at some point down the road due to radiation from an expanding sun, so colonies on sister planets were established. For a long time, trips could be made back and forth to the home planet until conditions forced them to stop. Left to themselves, they altered the genetic makeup of the indigenous humans by substituting their own DNA, causing a human evolutionary jump in intelligence and consciousness. Colonies were established on the planet that would spread the new humans around until infighting brought down the civilization and submerged the continent. What was left were colonies in various states of development but without any further supply runs, much like the situation the Atlanteans found themselves in when cut off from their homeworld. Time being what it is, the present became the past that morphed into the history until ending up as myth. That wouldn't be the end of the story, though. Back on Sirius, it had gone through an ascension, and the planet and some of its people had moved on to a higher dimension. So, too, had some of the colonies on sister planets that had been formed. There had been 7 races that made up the colonists of Atlantis, and some of those races continued on, as did other races separate from those of Sirius. There was a galactic federation and a command, led by a commander named Ashtar, comprised of multiple races, including those from Sirius. Humanity hadn't been forgotten, and an underground base had been established on the planet Mars long before Atlantis to ensure that no other third-dimensional races would interfere with the development of the human race. It comes down to advanced technology, fleets of ships, and an organizational structure dedicated to helping humanity to ensure the sovereign right to make their own decisions. Even with their help, there are races that violate the sovereignty by doing experiments on humans when they can bypass the patrols guarding the Earth. Imagine what it would be like if that protection wasn't there. That brings us up to the present day. A vast amount of money and resources are spent by governments to ensure humans don't get the full picture of how not alone they are in the universe. Governments are fully aware of the technology they are up against through the crashed vehicles they have recovered. With little chance to catch up to the technology, distractions and denials have been seen as the only way forward, until recently. Now, there is a push to inform the public of the reality of non-human craft and beings sharing our skies, with the possibility of even more disclosures to come. How the human race would deal with learning that they are the sovereign citizens of the planet Earth because of no longer being the only race in the galaxy is a question for the inevitable future when it happens. Hopefully, it will challenge governments to demonstrate that they can act as a unified planet when faced with this new information. The human race has been given the sovereign right to treat the planet and its people in any way they want. The official acknowledgement that they are no longer alone in the universe may have some influence on that treatment. In love, light, and wisdom as one, Russ and Kara.